everyone. Today, the research paper and the multinational company that we will be discussing is Costco. So without further ado, let's jump right into the staffing and the type of employees that Costco has. Okay, so Costco is a wholesale retail company in which they produce bulk-sized products that the average consumer cannot buy. So these are products that you can buy in really big batches, and these include products like home appliances, furniture, food, equipment tools, and many, many more. Costco was founded in 1976 in the US and has been expanding ever since. It has a net worth of $4 billion, and it's continuing to generate more sales every year. Costco operates in 11 different countries, which include Canada, Spain, Mexico, United Kingdom, France, Japan, Iceland, South Korea, Australia, and Taiwan. However, Costco's most presence is found in Canada and the US. So now that we've discussed where Costco operates and the few other warehouse operations that Costco has in different countries, let's talk about the type of employees that Costco hires. So Costco does not have any international employees. They employ all their employees locally. So you could say from their host countries. So for example, if I'm in Canada and I have my own Costco brand here, Costco is not going to employ someone who is from the United Kingdom. They're going to probably find someone who is living in Canada and employ them. So there are no international transfers, and Costco employs their people locally. Costco also employs people on part-time basis, so no one works full-time. And with the years that accumulate of that part-time experience, only then am I put into a full-time position. So if I've been working for about 5 years at Costco as a part-time worker, I'm going to finally be transitioned into a full-time position. And so Costco builds itself that way through part-time workers and then transitions them into full-time. And that's how Costco employs its people and the different type of operations that they have worldwide.
Costco is the third largest retail company in the world, followed closely behind Walmart and Amazon. It employs over 280,000 people worldwide. It has over 795 locations. Due to these reasons, Costco's HR strategy has to be done in a way in which it works for everybody, but while maintaining its organizational structure. Because it expands over 11 different countries, they do have to have their individual HR practices that go on, but they remain standardized because they are a global entity and they want to be able to compete and be able to function. They can't establish different HR structures through all these countries. They follow one, but have to change practices based on the country's legislation and rules. Because you are standardizing, it is very limited to what you can change, just as long as you're following the legislation, like taxation laws and compensation rules within each country. That is the most important part when it comes to transitioning the HR practices from country to country. Keeping that in mind, it is important that you maintain the company's culture across the world. Costco is known to put their employees first and promote within instead of externally. They believe to be a family, and they put effort into showing that through the benefits and rewards packages that they use to compensate their employees.
Postal has expanded to the global market by mainly venturing through direct investments or in joint ventures. The expansion began when they entered Canada in 1985, and since then, they established stores in many places. Although the traditional initial stage to expanding a company begins with exporting, Costco started by opening warehouses all around the US, knowing they would generate profitability and expand their market reach. They realized their potential because of their competitive advantage, and the business strategy is what set them up for success. Walmart and Sam's Club were also competing with Costco because their HR team is well established and able to reach the company's objectives. When Costco began expanding on a larger scale to foreign countries in 2013, it officially reached the stage of path to global status where it began establishing international divisions. Costco functions as a host country, so all employees are citizens of the country where the branch is, and HR has an advantage in that they do not need to worry about pre-departure training. As miniature replicas of the home country structure were established in several countries, the corporate HR was responsible for expatriate management, and there was a need for the development of more formal HR policies. During the last stage of internationalization, the globalization of Costco intensified now with over 700 warehouses around the globe. Here they began growing in terms of their production and services. Costco's warehouse mainly exported from Kirkland's signature brands in the US, but with their warehouses opening in multicultural countries, they were able to include vast different assortments that reflected their local tastes. For example, they included Vegemite for Australians. The strategy was very successful because they were aware of different cultures' needs. Costco primarily has a weak matrix organizational structure where they have a strong functional structure and a secondary divisional structure. The functional structure is where the company groups businesses functions, and the divisional structure is for the grouping components in accordance to location and market. The main functional group includes HR, operations, finance, and more. The functional characteristics apply to all geographic divisions, so they use a centralized HR approach where Costco's HR professionals oversee primary employee management functions from headquarters.
The Postal analysis of Costco. Political elements. Costco does not make political statements related to beliefs, and it is not involved in partisan politics. They do not contribute money to political candidates or issues. They have been criticized for certain items offered in store and have responded by disapproving these allegations or by cutting ties with the company producing the items. Economic. Costco has been able to increase sales during the pandemic due to their online and physical stores, as well as the increased popularity of buying in bulk. They have experienced some issues regarding the import of certain items such as olive oil, cheese, seafood, and home goods. Sociological. Costco has developed a large and loyal client base in over 12 countries, and it was also the subject of a documentary called The Costco Craze, Inside the Warehouse Giant. Technological. Costco saw an 86% increase in online sales during the pandemic, as well as a 300% increase in their online grocery orders. They are pursuing new technologies, such as a digital merchandising platform for Apple products. Legal. Costco has been the defender in a number of lawsuits throughout the years, some regarding to employment conditions and others regarding the products sold. Environmental and ecological. Considered to be environmentally conscious, Costco is actively updating their climate action plan. They have a goal to reduce CO2 emissions and have been implementing changes to achieve this since 2000.
Hello, I'm Saida Arshi, and I will be talking about the cultural perspective for Costco. Costco's international success has been given a name called the Costco Way for how the company operates its international operations. And basically, the Costco Way is a mix of convergence and divergence approach. What that means is the company's subsidiaries follow the mission statement set by head office, but each subsidiary globally has local autonomy in its decision making based on localized needs. And managers of each country are required to show cultural competency and participate in a hybrid model of exchange and learning through monthly staff meetings with head office and other country managers.